Hey guys, I'm Maddie and welcome back to my channel. I recently listened to the audiobook The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And honestly, I had listened to this book probably like 4 or 5 years ago now, and I re-listened to it, just finished it yesterday actually. And these four agreements have honestly changed my life and made me a less depressed person, or put my depression into a different perspective. And I wanted to share them with you. And if you watch this video and think, wow, it cannot be that easy, just try it. But also at the same time, these agreements won't really resonate with you until you're ready to accept them. And I know that sounds really woo-woo and it's like, okay, sure, whatever. But when I first listened to this book, yeah, it was impactful, but it wasn't life-changing at that moment. But then when I re-listened to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the light I've been needing. Anyways, I just wanted to share them with you, give you a really quick recap of the book. I highly recommend you listen to it. It's actually on Spotify. That's where I've been listening, and it's free on there, or get it from your library, buy it, whatever you want to do, but it is on Spotify. I'll try and link it down below if I can figure out how to do that. But let's just get right into it. So essentially, the four agreements kind of create the foundation or the basis to life and how to live a more free life, a less stressed life, and how to really tap into like your full potential and just be the best you can be. And I also apologize if you hear any very loud breathing. I will show you who's here. Sadie is very tired. We went for a big walk this morning, so if you hear any grunting, groaning, it's her over there just doing her thing. But anyways, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. So not only telling the truth and being honest, but living up to what you say and fulfilling all of your promises to those people that you've made them to. And really, for me, what it is, how I speak to myself, how I speak about myself, how I speak about others. So when I was really in the depths of depression, I really took on that trait. I said I was a depressed person, so then I lived up to that narrative that I created for myself. But I'm really trying to let go of that, saying I go through depressive episodes. I don't have depression. I don't know. I feel like there are some other people who can articulate it a lot better than I can. Like, yes, I am a person who experiences depression. I am not depressed. And I've really let that go. Like, not holding so tightly onto this trait I think I need to live up to, because then also with labels, once you create a label for yourself, you kind of box yourself in and live up to that expectation that you have of a person who also has that label. So I'm trying to be much kinder to myself and more understanding, and say like, oh, like I did really good on this, or maybe I can improve on this, and just not be as judgmental of myself and not critiquing myself as harshly. And one of the biggest things in this section of the book is we are the only animal who repetitively beats ourselves up or punishes ourselves for an action. So like a dog, if a dog pees in the house, you reprimand them, you punish them that one time for that very specific action. But the next day, if the dog didn't pee in the house, you're not going to hit them. You're not going to punish them for an action they did earlier. But when we as humans rethink of an embarrassing thing or a time when we messed up, we continually beat ourselves up over that one action. We don't let things go. And that was like a aha moment for me, like a light bulb moment, because I do that. I will think back to like 5 years ago when I did something I'm not proud of, and I will still make myself feel like shit for doing that one thing so long ago. Like I struggle looking at it through a very non-judgmental, neutral lens. I just thought that was so fascinating. I also am trying to be more intentional with the way I speak about others, and again, not being as judgmental, as critical, or as harsh about them. I was a pretty big gossip. and love to hear all of the drama and the tea. But now I just don't have the mental space for it or the care about it. Like, I don't want to hear about people's downfalls. I don't want to spread and project those downfalls to other people. I want to be a kind and caring person who people feel safe to come to. Like, I want to hear about people's struggles from themselves. I don't want to hear about the gossip. I don't want to hear about it from down the grapevine. Like, if people come to me with issues, I want to listen to them. I just don't want to hear about it from Susie down the road. Another thing that falls into this category is having an open communication with those people in my life and not bottling up my feelings, my thoughts, just freely sharing those to who I feel safe with. Second agreement is do not take things personally. This is so hard, and I am a big people pleaser, so I take everything personally. I'm trying not to, I'm trying to let that go, but I struggle with thinking everybody's actions is a direct reflection of me, and that they are acting the way they are because of something I've done. Kind of like a narcissistic tendency a little bit, but in like a different way. And essentially, the way someone acts rarely has anything to do with you. It mostly stems from something going on in their own life, and those situations affect how they see things, how they act towards something, how they react. It's not actually you. You kind of are just the catalyst that triggered them and triggered that emotion and reaction within them. For example, when I am driving to work, sometimes I can get road rage, but usually that's because I either left late, I'm running behind, or something else happened that just really threw a wrench in my day and my drive isn't going well. So it's not the other drivers on the road that are pissing me off. It's my inability to manage time or inability to get to work in a manner that I thought I was going to. And some days if I'm running early, I drive slow, but that's because I'm in no rush. But on the days I'm in a rush, that's when I hit people, not hit them, but like run into, interact, engage with people who are also driving slow. But it's not the drivers themselves, it's my emotion, and they are just triggering me and putting me on edge. But it's not their fault. It's how I am handling the situation I'm in. I'm also trying to notice how other people's actions trigger me and what emotions those bring up in me, because again, how I react to what they're doing isn't a reflection of them. It is a reflection of things that I need to work on in my own life. And it can be very, very hard. In the book, there's an example, like if someone comes up and like shoots you in the head, like don't take it personally, it's not on you. It's like, okay, some things you need to take personally, and getting shot in the head, that seems like a pretty personal thing. So this one can be a little bit out there, I think, and kind of hard to grasp, but I'm working on it. The third, this is a big one, and that is do not assume anything. Just like the saying goes, assuming makes an ass out of you and me. I struggle with assuming people's emotions and thoughts. Like I kind of put them in a box of thoughts I think they're having or emotions that I think they're feeling, and that doesn't allow them to express themselves how they actually are feeling. And I've already dictated that for them, so that takes away their expression, which isn't fair, and everyone is free to express themselves how they want. You can't tell someone how they feel or how they think. This has sent me spiraling for weeks, worrying about what people think about me, if they're upset with me, if I offended them, or if I did something to piss them off or to make them mad. I spiral on the unknown. That is a big stressor in my life, honestly. And I just think that I can read people's emotions and I assume what they're thinking from my own perspective. And that has caused a lot of my depression because I just think the worst. I assume people are thinking the worst of me. I never assume they're thinking good things of me. And I don't think that, like, people can tell me one thing and tell me like, oh, like they think I'm a good person, they think I'm funny, whatever it may be, but then I doubt them and don't think they're being impeccable with their word, because I'm not always impeccable with my word. So then I just assume other people are like that. So relating back to the first agreement, when I'm being impeccable with my word, I can trust other people are doing the same and that they're being honest and that they're speaking from the heart and that they truly believe what they are telling me. And assuming leads to a lot of miscommunication or just the lack of communication in general, because so say Dustin and I, he's my partner, if I just assume everything he's thinking or assuming what he wants me to do, I won't ask him questions, I won't open up conversations because I'll just assume I know the answer. So what kind of relationship is that if we're just going about our days assuming we know what the other person wants the whole time? And that can also build up a lot of resentment towards the other person, and just again, having those open lines of communication between two people and not assuming. Because what if I assume Dustin is going to make dinner tonight, but he assumes I'm going to make it, and then we get together and neither one of us has made dinner, and now we're hungry and need to eat a box of Kraft dinner. And the final one, number 4, is do your best no matter what. This might seem like a pretty easy one to do, but if you look back at the 3 agreements, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, and do not assume, you need to do your best in all 3 of those areas. It's not just physical actions that you need to do your best in, it's the emotional, it's the mental, like everything. Do your best in every aspect of your life, give it your all, and then this doesn't lead to any room for the thoughts of, oh, like I wonder what would have happened if I gave it my all. Because you don't have to think that. You gave your all, and even if you weren't good enough or you came up short or you failed at something, and despite giving it your all you still weren't successful, at least you legitimately know the areas of where you need to improve on and what you need to do better in. Because if you didn't give your best, then you can kind of just brush it off and be like, whatever, I didn't try. But if you're giving it your all, you're going to be proud of your work. You're going to be proud of the success and the accomplishments and just even showing up. It is such a freeing feeling knowing that you can give your all and that you did do your best, because like, what is life if you're not doing your best? Like, you're just kind of floating through, just hanging out, just seeing where things go. Like, no, do your best, try, actually give a shit about something and actually give a shit about what you are working towards. As harsh as that may be, but I have spent so much of my life, especially in my depression, not giving a shit, not trying my best. And that is one thing. Try your best with your mental health. Don't let your depression or your anxiety take over. Try your best to get out of it and to work towards something that you know will make you feel better. Don't just like kind of sit back and let it like let life take you by and just hang out, be like, whatever, like who cares, doesn't matter. No, it matters. It matters. You should care. You should care about showing up for yourself. Even if nobody else is watching, do your best for yourself. Do your best for your dog. Do your best for your sister, your mother, your brother, whoever it is. Do your best for someone. That got me real passionate and real fired up, but anyways, that is it for this video. These tips have honestly helped me turn my perspective around and helped me look at life in a new lens and kind of given me the permission almost to shed that depression and to step out of myself and my own head and to look at life in a much happier light, because depression can be kind of dark and dim and a scary place. But just practicing these 4 things every day gives me something to focus on other than myself, honestly. And it's great not focusing on myself, because that's all my depression was all about me, how I'm feeling, what I've done wrong, what other people have done wrong to me. It didn't get me out of my head, but these 4 things have really just made me grow as a person, and I really appreciate this book and everything it's done for me. This is a very quick overview of it, so I definitely recommend you either read the book or listen to it, so you can get the information right from the source. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!